We're not going to hear anything new. So, there is a huge sort of expectations about these conferences that are public. They are not policy making, they're simply policy stating. That's why I find it a little bit peculiar that the S&P, on the basis of the expectations about Jackson Hole, is hitting new highs. Yellen is going to absolutely focus again on the labor market, because that's the important one. The rest of the economy is doing basically okay. And Draghi will point out that now in September, there's going to be a huge injection. Easily depends how big the take-up is of the banks, of up to about 500 billion, potentially 500 billion euros of new loans that will be given to the banks at very low prices, on the expectation that these are going to be jacked back again into the SME, the smaller sections of the economy. So Draghi will say, yes, the economy are not doing very, very well, but yes, we are doing a lot about it. In other words, we are pumping in liquidity. So I don't think there is going to be anything new, and definitely the same thing about the Bank of Japan, in which there is absolutely nothing they can do about this. They had a really lousy second quarter GDP growth, possibly because of the sales tax. I am afraid I don't believe that, but since they've got pedal to the metal, so to speak, they are flooding the economy with liquidity. There is very little they can do. So I think it's going to be interesting to hear a reconfirmation of what we already know. I don't think there's going to be any market moving news there. This obsession with increases in American interest rates leaves me completely puzzled, because it is clear, absolutely clear, that Asian central banks have got domestic agendas. Let's look at your RBI. Up to about 9 months ago, they were increasing interest rates. They were not decreasing interest rates just because the Americans did. The South Korean bank just decreased interest rates, irrespective of whether the Fed was or was not going to do anything. And a lot of other central banks are simply on hold. So what's going to happen when the Americans increase interest rates is going to be a knee-jerk reaction. For example, in the case of India, with the rupee now being very steady around the 60% mark, with expectations about policy making being changed or moving into a new era, into a new area, with the stock markets doing incredibly well, very well indeed, all that is going to happen is going to be a knee-jerk reaction. So I'm leaving this aside, okay, because it is a little bit absurd to insist that Asian interest rates are linked to American interest rates. No, they are not, except for Hong Kong, of course. Okay, it's very simple.